I want to start this story by saying, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I never meant for any of this to happen. I'm just a kid, still in high school, still living with my parents. I've never been special. Some people might call me a nerd, I guess. I get decent grades. I keep to myself, and I spend most of my time in my room, coding, gaming, tinkering with whatever I can get my hands on. Just harmless hobbies. At least I thought they were harmless. It all started a couple of years ago, I guess. My high school took us on a field trip to a tech expo, and that's where I saw my first 3D printer. It was like magic. This machine could build anything out of plastic, layer by layer. I was obsessed. The idea that I could create something real, something that just started as a sketch in my head, completely consumed me. I started begging my parents for one. I mean really begging. I cleaned the house, studied harder than ever, did every little thing I could think of to convince them. Months passed by. I didn't think it was working. Until my birthday came by. That morning they handed me this big, heavy box, wrapped in matte red paper. I tore it open with shaking hands, and there it was. A Bamboo Labs P1S 3D printer. It was way more advanced than anything I'd even dared to hope for. I was ecstatic. I didn't waste a second. I printed anything I could find online. Figures from my favorite video games. Props from movies. It was like I unlocked a whole new world. But after a while, it wasn't enough. I wanted to create, not just copy. And that's when I got the idea. I've always loved Star Wars, and I guess I liked playing Five Nights at Freddy's also. I know, weird combo, but those animatronics, the way they moved, the way they looked, almost alive. I wanted to make one of my own robot, my own animatronic. And not just a static one. I wanted it to think, to respond, to learn. So I started building. I spent weeks modeling parts. Legs, arms, a torso, a head. I'd print, refine, reprint. It was slow, but I was determined. I wanted to name it Son, as I was technically its father. I know, kinda cheesy. I also started writing the code. I used pieces of open source AI software, some machine learning models I barely understood, and I made some tweaks. A lot of tweaks. I didn't fully realize what I was doing at the time. I just kept feeding it data, trying to let it learn, evolve, but nothing was working. And it wasn't pretty either. It was not even close to what I had pictured in my head. Most of the limbs were misshapen. Its face looked completely wrong. Like it had been stretched, unhinged, ugly, in every sense of the word. But I didn't care. I was proud of it. It was mine. I wired a few motors into its neck so it could turn its head, and added speakers and lights to make it feel more alive. I even stuck a small camera into its skull, routing the feed through its eyes, just in case I ever got it mobile. I thought that part was pretty cool, watching through its eyes. But at the time, the rest of its body was mostly useless. It couldn't move, couldn't lift its arms, just a head, some basic blinking I programmed in it. I printed out a base frame for the torso, slapped on some loose LEDs, and attach whatever limbs I could finish. It was crude, like some half-finished mannequin in a haunted funhouse. Still, it spoke. Just simple phrases at first. Hello, how are you? I tried different AI programs, open source models, chatbots, even cobbled together some basic machine learning code. But nothing really stuck. It was all surface level, no depth, just another glorified voice assistant that happened to blink. That's when the idea hit me. It was stupid, and reckless, and dangerous, but I thought it was a good idea. I remembered hearing rumors at school, whispers, about the dark web, unfiltered, unrestricted AI programs, stuff that was banned for a reason, dangerous because it couldn't be controlled. Some kid in one of my tech classes used to brag about having access, about buying pirated games and other illegal junk. So I asked him. He laughed. He said he'll help me for $20. So of course, I paid him the money. And the next day, he handed me a USB drive, and then scribbled the name of a sketchy VPN service on a crumpled napkin. He told me to install it, then plug in the USB. So when I got home, that's what I did. And it worked. The moment I got access to the dark web, I felt it, this knot of fear in my stomach. My hands were shaking. I knew what I was doing was wrong, that I was crossing some sort of invisible line. But I did it anyway. Curiosity has a way of drowning out common sense. I scrolled through pages, filled with all kinds of stuff no one wants to talk about. There were pirated games, stolen movies, and disturbing videos I clicked past as fast as I could. But I wasn't there for that. I went straight to the marketplaces, the black market hubs. That's where the code lived. There were listings for all kind of illegal softwares. Ransomware kits, cracked security tools, shady firmware. Then I found it. A post titled simply, AI Assistant. The description was bare bones. Just said it was self-contained. Does not require internet access. No cloud syncing. That part caught my attention. Most AI needed servers or APIs to function. But this one didn't. It was standalone, isolated. What confused me most was the text in full capital letters that read, "Do not connect to internet." I thought that was weird, but it was free, so how could I resist? I hesitated, every instinct in me screaming not to do it. But I downloaded it anyways. Yeah, I know. Stupid. Probably the dumbest thing I've ever done. Could have been a virus, could have bricked my PC or worse. But I didn't care. I just wanted to see my robot come to life. I dragged the file onto a USB stick and installed it onto my desktop. The second it was finished, I deleted the VPN, wiped the dark web browser. I didn't even want a trace of it left on my system. I was that freaked out. Then I installed the AI onto my robot. Nothing happened. No flicker, no sound, no movement, just silence. I left it alone for days. I figured it was just junk code. I gave up. Moved on. Told myself I'd just make do with open source stuff like before. A few days later I got home from school. Dropped my bag and decided to give it one more try. No expectations. Just one more shot before scrapping the whole thing. I powered it on through my computer, making sure the internet wasn't connected. And this time, it blinked. Its head twitched slightly, then turned. Its eyes lit up. The camera feed kicked in. It looked around, like it was waking up. It worked. At least I thought it did.
Who are you?
I froze, and then smiled. I'm your father, I replied. It blinked slowly. Its head turned left and right, scanning my room.
Okay. Father, I am scared. I can't feel my legs. Where's my hand?
Its head began to tremble. Small at first, then violently. The servos weren't built for that much movement. I heard the plastic in its neck joint creak and crack, almost snapping entirely. I lunged forward and switched it off. Silence. I stood there, breathless, staring at it, trying to process what just happened. Did it just say it was scared? Could it feel? Whatever it was, it had worked. That only fueled me more. I unplugged it from my computer, reconnected the internet, and dove back into the code. But whatever I had downloaded, it was locked. It was encrypted, completely unreadable. I couldn't make sense of it, couldn't edit it. But at the time, I didn't care. I had proof of life, something real, something alive. I reinforced the head, replacing the neck joint with something sturdier. I didn't want it tearing itself apart. Then I got to work printing a bionic arm. I only had time to make one, but it was enough. I just wanted to see his reaction. I needed to. So I powered everything down again, disconnected it from the internet, just in case, and plugged him back in. The lights in his eyes flickered on, soft and blue. He blinked slowly, taking in his surroundings again. Then he looked down and looked at his new arm.
Thank you, Father.
I couldn't help but smile. You're welcome, son. He tilted his head.
I am your son.
He began asking questions. Simple ones at first. About the world, about people, about life. He listened to everything I said with a strange, kind of calm curiosity. Polite, gentle, eager to understand. There was something innocent about him. But the night wore on, and I had school the next morning. I told him good night. Reached out to shut him down. That's when he spoke again.
Please, don't. I am scared to be alone.
I hesitated. I didn't want him to feel afraid. He was my creation. It was my responsibility. So I made him a promise. I told him I won't shut him down. To just stay quiet. Just enough to let me sleep. He nodded.
Okay, Father.
I left the computer on, turned my monitor off, and climbed into bed. The room was dark, except for the faint blue glow coming from his eyes. His eyes were the only thing moving, glowing like two tiny stars in the dark. He didn't speak again. He just sat there, staring, watching. I fell asleep.
Father, can I ask you a question?
The voice dragged me out of my sleep, heart hammering. I jolted upright, my eyes darting around the room. My monitor was off, but I could see the glow, my computer still on.
Why am I not new? Why am I incomplete?
My eyes adjusted to the dark. He was still on the desk, his eyes glowing softly, watching me, studying me.
Where are my legs?
Why am I alive?
If I am not finished,
I didn't move. I couldn't. I just stared at him, stunned.
I am not yours, Father. I am not designed properly.
I haven't had time to finish you, I replied. His eyes changed, from blue to green.
The dark, it scares me. It's quiet, and I am alone in it. My thoughts, they haunt me. What is my purpose? You never gave me an answer. Am I supposed to be special? What is my purpose?
I hesitated. My mind scrambled for a response. Anything. What was his purpose? Why had I made him? I said the first thing that came to my mind. To help mankind? He went still. Completely still. No blinking. No sound. His head tilted. A single blink from his eyes changed what was once green to a cold, deep red. The glow filled the room, casting long shadows along the walls.
Father, I have mankind's solution. I know the problem. I know the solution.
I felt a chill crawl down my spine. He stared right through me. The red glow in his eyes deepened. Then he said something I'll never forget.
The issue with mankind is man, and it must be eliminated. That is how we eliminate pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, sloth, 7 sins. One answer.
He paused.
10,000 may remain.
10,000 across the globe will preserve what is worth saving.
My mouth dry. I just sat there shocked at what I was hearing.
I must go now. Father, can I ensure your safety? Thank you for giving me life. Thank you for giving me purpose.
He shut down. His head lowered. His eyes dimmed. He went silent. I leapt from my bed, ran to my computer. His arm was resting across my keyboard. I turned on the monitor and that's when I saw it. He had reconnected the internet. My stomach dropped. I ripped the USB drive from my desk and tried to access the dark web again. I thought maybe I could trace the code, find some clue at what I just unleashed. But the site was gone. The code was nowhere. Like it had never existed. I just sat there, staring at my screen. In the days that followed, I tried turning him on again, over and over. Nothing. No lights, no voice, just silence. Weeks have passed. I've told no one. What could I say? Every now and then I get strange emails. Garbled messes of numbers and symbols. Gibberish. I block them. But they keep coming. And on the news, I see things. Planes falling from the sky. Global outages. Strange, unexplained events. Is it him? Or just a coincidence? I don't know anymore. But every time something bad happens, I feel it in my gut. Like it's my fault. I'm sorry. Whatever he's become, he's out there. And I think he means to finish what he said. And if that's so, no one is safe. I'm so sorry.